Hello, and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am going to be talking a lot about real life stories, current events, politics, and everything in between. And I hope you enjoyed the last episode because I have a lot that are going to be like that, but in different arenas. But yeah, it's going to get interesting in here. But yeah, welcome to the throne room. Let's get started. Some of you may already know I created a key to go along with some of the messages I'm going to be posting in different episodes. So if you ever run into one and a word is covered, come back over to this key and you'll be able to find out what exactly they said. Yes, that means I'm a nerd, but I'm a proud nerd. Today we're going to be talking about Jay, and with majority of the dating topics episodes, we're going to be playing the game 3 words before and after. So if you can write down 3 words that you would describe him now, please do so. If you need to pause, go ahead. But let's get started. Oh, and also think about what level of monster is he? If you watched my introduction video, you'll know all of the levels. At the end of the video, you will see my monster meter. And actually, let's go on and just show you that. Here's the monster scale. We have everything from level 1 through 6. 1 is, "Aw, you tried." And then 3.5 is you actually put some thought into it, which can be thought in so many different ways. So down in the messages, if you want to type out, if you think that monster's in that area, describe why. And then we have level 6. I think your next door neighbor is the devil, which, yeah, I think a lot of the guys that write me might end up in the Devil subdivision. So, yay, let's continue. With each of my videos and episodes, I am going to be talking about the creation of my profile. Which, now that I think about it, I think I'm going to do a full blown podcast series about this. But one of the items I'm going to talk about today is how some people think I'm a narcissist because of what I'm doing. So, with the whole narcissist thing, this all started because I had a nightmare dating life. I dated, if you listen to my podcast, I tell stories about Mr. Lockakey and Mr. No Heart. Both gentlemen did not finish higher education, and actually, Mr. Lockakey dropped out of high school, but he lied to me, and I did not know for about 3 to 6 months that he was a high school dropout, and that he was on probation, and that his probation officer forced him to go back to high school to get his high school diploma, which I would have applauded him and helped him. I don't know about date him because I don't, the lying and then especially the probation part. Listen to the story because I tell all. And then Mr. No Heart, when I finished my second master's and everything, I think that was like right before I met him. And the way that his family degraded me and told me the only reason that I finished my degrees was because I was black and things. And so this dating someone outside my race and for his family to degrade me like that and put me down. And then when I got certain jobs and opportunities and when I started my business, he would say, well, anybody can do that. Well, you're too old for this. And when it came to kids, you're too old for kids. And I'm just like, I've been working my tush off so I can be the best woman I can be, so that in the future I can be the best mom I can be. But now you're basically telling me that I have to love your daughters, I have to raise your daughters, but now that you're not going to allow me to be a mother and me be able to have children. So I have this list for a reason, and I'm showing these monsters for a reason. It's not just, oh, look at me. No, not at all. But let's get down to this guy. This is Jay, and I'm going to be showing quite a few monsters like him because, one, I think I explained in a previous episode how, with the request section, this means that they wrote me and that I did not write them, because if I wrote him first and then he responded, he would be in another folder. And so he's always in my requests. I have never written him back. But he is one of the gentlemen, or he's not a gentleman whatsoever, but I'll be nice. He is one of the gentlemen that every 30 to 60 days, he comes back to write me again. Because with the request section, they can only write you up to 1 to 3 times, and then they cannot write you again until you respond. And if you do not respond, they cannot write you for another 30 to 60 days. And he has come back like 3 times. I don't know why. I'm starting to think he's just really bored, or he's given up on human beings, and but he enjoys being a bully. But one of the first messages that I've gotten from him was, "You're not hot enough for your bio and attitude." Again, I've never written him. I've never spoken to him. And he got my attitude from, this is why he says I have an attitude. And if you think I have an attitude, you know what? So be it. I'll take it. I will accept that, because after everything I've been through with my dating life, after I have been trying to make myself the best woman I can be, and at the end of the day, men degrade me for it, because when some men see that I have a master's degree on my profile, they degrade me and bully me. Some of them are tell me, "Oh, so you must not know how to cook. You can't clean. I would need you to do my laundry. I need you to prove that you're a real woman. You care more about a fancy piece of paper than you do having kids. Why don't you have kids? Something's wrong with you because you don't have kids." And the vaccination. Men have called me the R word, B word. I'm stupid, ignorant, and so many other things because I'm fully vaccinated. And when I have several different examples when it comes to that, I can do a full presentation on the vaccinated messages all by itself. Since he wants to say that I am bottom tier, ugly AF, I want to know, who is able to be at that level? Who is at the level to be deserving of someone who is vaccinated, someone who wants to adopt and foster children, someone who wants to have deep conversations and be a nerd with? It's like, those are 3 out of the 7 items. And one is some sort of higher education, certification in a trade, even. It's like, because normally when someone, or the pattern that I've seen, someone who at least has some sort of higher education congratulates me, or they don't put me down, or they don't say because you're a woman that you're supposed to have kids and stay at home. I have not seen that, and that's one reason I feel more comfortable if I am in a relationship with someone who understands the work ethic and just the effort that it took to put into getting my degrees. And when it comes to men with high school diplomas, they are normally the ones that put me down and ridicule me and bully me to the point where it's just like, why would I want to be with you? Why would I want to tolerate you for the rest of my life? No. Especially when you're saying, since I'm a woman, that I'm not supposed to be as amazing as I am trying to be. No. One thing that I have to recommend for a lot of men, especially men who don't have higher education, is get therapy. Get therapy. Because one thing I have noticed and why I have that standard in my profile is because most of the men who have downgraded me, degraded me, bullied me, and told me that my education was for no reason and that my business ideas are stupid and to give up, quit, are men that don't have higher education. And why would I want to be in a relationship when I'm going to be put down, tormented, ridiculed, and it's not fair because I've worked hard? And I do want kids one day, but at the same time, I don't want it with somebody who's going to tear me down. I don't want my children witnessing me being torn down by a fool who settled in his life and has no aspirations, dreams, or looking forward to new opportunities. Why would I want to deal with that? And why would I want my children to witness that? Because later in life, they're going to end up in similar relationships where they're going to think that's okay. No, that's not okay. No. I kept wondering, why does this guy say I have attitude? And why do men come to me or come to my post and just write me such idiotic, ignorant, stupid, vile things? So then I realized I see a pattern. If you look in the middle of this image, you will see the graduation cap that basically it says what your education status says. And some men treat it like a game, but I don't. I put masters because I have two masters. But some men who say they have a master's and a doctorate, when they write me and we start talking and I ask, oh, so what is your master's in? What is your doctorate in? Oh, my master's or doctorate is in these streets. I know how to run the streets. I know how to do nonsense. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Oh, so I see you have a master's in these streets too. No, no, my master's is actually accredited. And so then that'll be a different YouTube episode, but let's just say I have my list for a reason. And when I have men like this writing me, and he says, you're not hot enough for your bio and attitude, I'm not trying to be hot enough. I never thought I was hot enough. Some of the guys at my high school, my senior year, voted me most ugly in high school. And a lot of men have talked about I'm not either black enough, or I'm not pretty enough, or I'm too fat or too curvy, or I'm a red skin, a red boned, and so many things where, okay, I'm not hot enough. I didn't ask to be, I didn't ask for permission, especially for someone like him. I don't care. But it's just amazing with how many men feel like they can just write women this kind of stuff and they get away with it and they're proud of it. And I'm just like, no. Let's show the world who you really are. Because Like I said, I post the monsters in my dating app because I treated them like scarecrows. And yeah, he decided to write me back again. And he's one of the monsters again who every 30 to 60 days he comes back so that he can ridicule me and bully me more. So that is why it is such a pleasure to show him, because this is who he really is. And this is who he is determined to be. So I kind of felt bad for his girlfriends or whoever he's going to marry, because this is him. But he writes, "Ha ha, you get so upset. It's so funny. No one cares that you post these messages. It just proves our point even more. Must be hard life being that ugly though. You really are low tier AF." But I never asked permission to be, yeah, anyway. So then he comes back 30 to 60 days again and writes, "Pathetic." And you know what the new word is for the day. Kind of like Pee Wee's Playhouse, but yeah, even more adult than Pee Wee's Playhouse. Yeah, imagine that. Um, but yeah, he decided to take it up a notch. And so I might have later episodes about him, because he is one of the ones that comes back every 30 to 60 days. He's done it 3 times. Maybe he's tired of me. Maybe he's found someone new. I don't know. Just in case anybody needs a definition, I went to dictionary.com. Yes, I'm a nerd, but here is kind of like a paragraph on the different meanings, both the versions from British and America. And the irony is the last part of it. But if you want to read that, check it out. And for one of the last messages this guy sent me, I thought it was pretty funny, because he doesn't realize when I post these scarecrows, I get messages from men asking, "Am I okay?" And they treat me like a human being. And they tell me how these men are monsters or how idiotic they are. Because this guy writes, "JFC. Oh man, I'm sorry you gotta deal with these weird, you know that word, men, LOL. And what did you even do to these guys? What TF, LOL." And so, yeah, for some reason, men think that I've done something to these men when they just don't like my profile. They say I have attitude. They say I'm a narcissist. They say that I'm a snob. They say that I'm crazy. Or they say I'm so many different things when I have these standards for a reason. It's amazing because when I have men who write me, check up on me, and treat me like a human being, I don't post their messages in my app, because I don't want these bullies to then go and attack them and to bully them. I just post them to show the reality of what some of us women go through on the app. And two more examples are, why them dudes leaving hateful messages. Wow, crazy pics of people on here. Yikes. And I have so many more examples which I will be showing in future episodes. So it's time to play everyone's favorite games. The 3 words before, 3 words after. If you guys can write those in your response in the messages below. And also the monster scale. Where do you think he lies in the monster scale? 1 through 6, and why? Thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. And you're going to hear a lot more about my projects and things, but one of them is going to be coming out later this year, I hope. But it's called The Super They Drained Out of Me. My main character has a disability. It's an urban fantasy with mystery, a lot of naughty jokes, superpowers, and villains, and so much more. But thanks for listening, and I hope you will like, subscribe, comment. If you had a superpower, what would it be? And what are your standards when it comes to dating? What is a must and what is a must not? Thanks so much. Bye.